So just a little bit ago, we got our first official look at the brand new scopes as well as the Fox Pro X360 in the Hunter Call of the Wild. We covered all the information earlier on today, but now we actually got to take a look. And the stream actually started with the e-collar being transformed into the Fox Pro X360. And first of all, the new remote UI is really nice. It looks great, it looks super easy to use, it feels like an actual piece of technology and not just buttons to hit to bring animals in the game. Additionally, something I talked about in the video earlier today, the Fox Bang feature where the collar will turn off after you take a shot, it can be toggled. You press F to do that, Jaxy shows that, and this whole thing with Fox Pro, this collaboration, I feel like it kind of opens the door for potential future collaborations with other real-life brands, and I really hope to see that type of thing coming to the game. But I know the star of the show, the thing everybody's here for, is the scopes. So, the first thing we get to see, of course, is the scopes in the store. The night vision, by the way, we see confirmed there as 4 to 8 magnification, which is a huge upgrade over the old night vision scope. But look at this reticle customization screen. I like the little preview. You actually get to see an animal in the scope. You get an idea of what it's going to look like when you're aiming down sight, which reticle you want to choose from, all that sort of stuff, all those options there. We see, as Jaxy toggles through, there are 7 new reticle options, free with the update. So if you don't buy these scopes and crosshairs DLC, you still get 7 of those options along with the update. 5 additional ones come with the scopes and crosshairs pack, so of course that $4.99 DLC, and I believe all those were mentioned in the video earlier. Those being the duplex center cross, the mil.02 reticle crosscut, target dot, and chevron reticles. And so now we get to the actual scopes themselves and getting to see them in action. So we start with the Hermes shotgun/handgun scope. We know it's 3 to 7 magnification, which is a significant upgrade over both the old shotgun scope, the Meridian, and the Goshawk handgun scope. And we can see all the possible reticle options are available. So in theory, that'll be the case for any kind of scope, old ones, new ones, anything like that, which I think is really cool. That option to maybe throw a reticle on there with mil dots, whether that's for a muzzleloader, a handgun, anything like that. Holdover probably just made a huge jump in terms of what you can do, what range you can achieve with all these different weapons, and it'll be interesting to actually look into that. As for this scope though, it fits shotguns and handguns of course, almost makes grabbing a handgun for maps like Rancho and Reventuli more useful. If you've got that shotgun scope just in case, maybe throw a handgun in there and that scope is going to be really, really nice. And we also know it's lighter than the old ones, so that's going to be super useful for those light loadouts. But then, what I thought was going to be the star of the show, and I say that because the night vision scope is awesome, the Odin 4 to 12 scope. The model's fantastic. First of all, it looks really, really good. My favorite magnification range, without a doubt, that 4 to 12 range, it's basically an improved Hyperion. And of course, that coupled with your favorite reticle, in my opinion anyway, automatically becomes your new favorite and standard rifle scope. To me, mine is just not buying the pack. If you don't feel like paying for the DLC, I don't see how this doesn't become the new scope that you use on every rifle. If you're a Hyperion user right now, this is just an improved Hyperion in every way.
I just think that we're moving in the right direction, being able to look at our weapons a whole lot closer with the customizations and such. You know, it's just a matter of time. All right.
I also thought Beard seemed to hint at scope cosmetic customization, so hopefully that's coming down the line. He did confirm that's not a thing with these scopes now. You won't be able to go on and put camouflage on your scope or anything like that. Hopefully down the line, though, that'll be something we can do, and maybe we could match winter camo on the scope like we have here on the 300. Now the night vision scope, the first thing we see is in daylight, and we will see it at night a little bit later. The detail is so much more clear. Daylight or not, you can see it with the comparison to the old one, and there's no comparison. The field of view, the peripherals, being able to see around the scope, if animals are walking into view, if there's something that you maybe haven't seen yet, you can catch out of the corner of your eye as you're aiming down sights, and just the zoom and the detail you can determine is so much better. But that duplex reticle, that is the thing I've wanted in this game literally from day one. I mean, the Hyperion scope, we've all gotten very good with it. We've all been using this thing for years at this point. But that duplex is so much better. To me, like, that's what I hunt with in real life. That's what makes sense to me. That's what I feel like I do best with, target acquisition and just precise shots. I'm so excited that's coming to the game. You can bet I'm going to have that on just about every scope that doesn't require any kind of holdover. The mill dots, I still think, will reign supreme when it comes to trying to get any sort of holdover. So, back to the Hermes scope. This literally turns weapons like the 454 into similar to the 243 handgun because of the quality of the scope. Having that additional zoom, having the mill dots for the holdover, bullet drops of course still going to exist. It's not going to be as flat shooting as the 243 or 4570 handguns, but being able to use the mill dots, it's not going to be nearly as big a deal to shoot at longer range with that 454, that 357 if you want, whatever kind of weapon you put it on, even shotguns. So now we see a little bit of the reticle customization, and the first one the Beard chose was this circle and dot reticle. I think for close range shots, quick shots, you know, shoulder and take the shot when animals on the run, it can be really useful, just like actually, we used the red dot sights in our video on Sunday. This feels to me like a perfect thing for that type of hunting. Then we see shooting the dot reticle at that range, 300 meters, it's probably not the move, but it clearly can be done. Beard hit the bullseye on the first shot. I wouldn't use it at 300. I'd again be using it for those close range quick shots, but it's very accurate, and that was something I was thinking about. For all these years, we've had these same scopes that were very accurate with every weapon really, minus a couple of random little things with like the Mosin. I was wondering if bringing new reticles could bring any sort of accuracy issues, and at least what we saw on stream, these things are dead on, which obviously that's really, really key. We also got to see the T reticle, similar to the old helioscope. I kind of thought it was cool to see a weapon with that reticle at 300 meters being shot accurately. We've never had a gun that gets 0 to 300 using the T reticle. It was the 4570 and the 3030, the lever action rifles, with the helioscope. So it was neat to see if that's a reticle that you use in real life, if that's something that, like JaxyBeard said, if you're someone who brings your crosshairs up as you hold your breath to take your shot, it can be a really nice thing to use for that. It was cool to see it hit dead on at that range. We also got to see it with the 300 AR, and obviously it can be very, very good for a weapon like that. And then we go back to the night vision scope, and we actually get to see it used at night, which clearly that's the usage. And I'm fixated on the duplex crosshairs. I still think they look really, really good, but compared to the old night vision scope, it's just so much cleaner. It's so much easier on the eyes. You can focus. You don't have to, I mean, when hunting at night, using that thing for so long, it's something you would actively avoid doing. Just minimal usage. Now with the new white phosphor night vision, it's gonna be so much easier to just do it for a extended period of time. And I mean, zooming to 8 times. What an upgrade over that 1 to 4 zoom. It's gonna be much easier to take shots at range with the new night vision scope. And that's why I said, I thought the Odin was going to be the star of the show. Every equipment pack, every weapon pack, always has usually 1 star, the 300 AR for instance, in the last weapon pack. This night vision scope I think is actually a game changer in a lot of ways. We did get to see them compared at night actually hunting as well, and Jaxy shot a wild boar with it. I gotta say, those coyotes and those wild boar that we're missing for the Leighton Trophy Cabin, they better watch out, because I think those nighttime drink zones, it's gonna be a lot easier to hunt with that scope compared to what we've been doing, which is not using the old night vision because I just didn't like it, using the Hyperion instead. Now we've got a night vision scope that's actually going to be good. I think that changes the game really in more ways than I would have predicted in terms of actually hunting at night. And of course, early access was confirmed for the new scope, so I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on these things. We'll be putting everything through their paces, and I think we're going to try to make use of the new Fox Pro X360. I really thought a couple of those features, the UI changes, it makes it worth carrying, at least for certain hunts where you're planning on using the colors a bit more. And I'm excited to see where that goes. But I do think that's going to do it for this video. I wanted to cover everything from the live stream. And of course, if you want additional information, we went over all that stuff in the video earlier today. On that note, that's going to do it for this one. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.